Right. So children, now I
Sanu
want the
teacher, is
yes.
there anyone? Is there anyone who is going to do the sum today?
That's what we can ask them and see.
Ah, yes, I can see
Okay.
Anuja. Yes, Anuja.
Anuja Bhuta,
Yes,
yes.
Anuja, you can. Which sum do you want to do, Anuja?
I think he can't
I think,
unmute.
yeah.
Yes. So Anuja, you can unmute now.
Sir, it's the first one, sir.
All right, okay, Anuja. So, sir will put right on the whiteboard. You can explain.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Madam, for the first one, A,
Okay.
I wrote the answer as 20 because 2 times 4 is 8, then 5 times 4 is 20.
So this is the answer that Anuja is giving. So that is the correct answer, Bhuta. Very good. Right? Good.
Very good.
So will you do part B as well?
Yes,
Part
sir.
B.
Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
tell us, Anuja, what do we do for part B?
Sir, 5 times 8 is 40. That
Mm-hmm.
means 3 times 8 is 24.
That is correct.
Very good.
Good.
Very good, Anuja.
Good. Excellent. So children, I hope that all of the others have also got these answers. Right?
Any different answer? Any different answer? Anyone who got a different answer? No? Okay, we can
Okay.
move to the next one, Sanu
Right.
teacher.
So Anuja, what about this one?
Yes, sir. 8
Oh, I
times
already.
3 is 24.
Yes.
And 5 times 3 is 15. So I put for the blank 5.
5 is the answer. That is correct. Very good. Very good. Very good, Putta. So Anuja perfectly explained question number 1, right? So is there anyone who would like to explain question number 2? Children? What about question number 2? Or yes. So Praveen Putta is saying that he wants to explain question number 2. Yes, Praveen, go ahead. You have the chance to do so. I will work it out as you explain. Go ahead. Praveen, can you hear us? Praveen? It looks like he's having a little trouble with his mic. No, Putta, I can't hear you. Deline teacher, can you hear Praveen?
No, no.
Putta, can you check your mic real quick? I can see he has unmuted, but we can't hear you, Putta.
I think tell him to set the audio settings, no? Go to
That's
settings.
what. That's what. Praveen, just have a look at your audio settings and see whether you can. Right. So, Putta, just try to adjust that and then come back. We'll discuss the next question together. Right. So, in the meantime, yes. So I'll just do this, do question number 2 here, right? So children, the question is, if a daily wage of 8 laborers who are paid equal wages is 7,200 rupees, find the daily wage of 3 laborers. So children, that means 8 laborers are paid 7,200 rupees. So to work this out, what you have to do is you have to find the wage per laborer. So how many rupees is one laborer paid, right? So what you do is from 7,200 you can divide it by 8. So this gives us 900 rupees per laborer, children, right? So once you have this number, you can multiply it by 3. So that means for 3 laborers, children, we pay 2,700 rupees, right? So your answer has to be in rupees, right? So rupees 7,200 is the answer, right? Children, did you get this answer? Okay. So Praveen says that there is a problem in his mic. That's okay, Pudha. That's all right. See whether you can get it fixed. If you can, then we'll discuss it. Right. So then we'll move on to part B. So children, I can see that several students got this answer. Very good. Okay, so we'll go to part B, children. In part B, we have, it says a machine in a factory produces 7,500 drink bottles in 5 hours. Find the number of drink bottles it produces in 7 hours. So again, children, it's a similar approach to this question as well, right? So 7,500 drink bottles in 5 hours, meaning you have to figure out how many drink bottles it produces in 1 hour, right? So 7,500, we can divide it by 5, children, right? So that gives us, when you work it out, right, 1,500 bottles per hour. 1,500 bottles per hour, right? So now if you want to calculate the amount for 7 hours, what you do is you multiply 1,500 by 7 and your answer should come to 10,500 bottles, right? So that means if the factory can produce 7,500 bottles in 5 hours, in 7 hours it can produce 10,500 bottles. And to get this, you can divide and figure out how much it can produce per hour and multiply by the number of hours. So I can see some of the children have already given me the answer. Very good, children, right? Excellent. So children, I hope you all got this answer. If you didn't get this answer, if you got different answers, please let me know. I will explain how to do it again, right? Or if you understood it, that's fine. If you didn't understand, do let me know, children.
Yes,
Okay.
Heshini has raised her hand, Sanam teacher.
Yes, Heshini, is there something you want to say? I think she's raising her hand to say that she put her hand up. So she was raising her hand when we got the answer. So I think she was saying that she got the answer correct. Okay. So very good, Dua. So question number 3, Sandali Dua said that she wanted to explain. Am I right, Sandali Dua?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So can you hear me properly?
Yes. Loud and clear, Dua. Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to explain the third question, part A.
Right. Go ahead, Dua. Yes.
So here we have to subtract 5/5 minus 1/5, and then we get 4/5. So here, since they have said in the question 3/8 of the remaining students, we have to multiply 4/5 by 3/8, and then 4 simplifies, and then we get 3/10.
Right. So Dua, you are actually describing both parts A and B, I think. Am I right?
Sir, I solved the question like that. The part A question.
So, Dua, the answer for part A would be 4/5, Dua. Because see, if you read the question carefully, it says that 1/5 of the children have selected dancing, right? So part A is asking what fraction of the students have selected subjects other than dancing, right? So if 1/5 of them have selected dancing, then the amount that have selected other subjects or not dancing is going to be, like you said, 5/5 minus 1/5, which is 4/5. So this is actually the answer to part A, Dua. Right? This is the answer to part A. What you did next is the proper answer to part B, right? Because in part B, they're asking what fraction of students have selected music out of all the students. Now in the question, 3/8 of the remaining students have selected music. That means 3/8 of the remaining students means after you remove the 1/5 of students who have selected dancing, right, out of the remaining students, that means out of the 4/5, 3/8 have selected music. So they are asking out of all the students, how many have selected music? So to get that, you have to take 4/5, which is the total of remaining students, and multiply it by 3/8, because 3/8 of those remaining students are studying music, right? So that answer would be 3/10, right? Is that clear?
Got it, sir. Thank you. Yes, I got it. Thank you very much, sir.
So children, what about the rest of you? Did you get these answers? So that's part A and B both. Who got these answers, children? Can I see? Good. Good. Okay. So children, be careful about that, right? So always pay attention to the words that they're saying. When they say the remaining students, right, that doesn't mean 3/8 of all the students. That means 3/8 of the students after you remove the 1/5 who do dancing, right? They will try to trick you with these words, children. That's why you have to pay attention to it very, very carefully. If you are not sure, read it twice. Read the question twice before doing it. It's better to spend the time to read the question twice than to make a mistake and redo the question, children, right? So definitely read it again and do it carefully, right? Okay. So children, next we'll go to question number 4. So children, is there someone who would like to explain question number 4 to me?
Anuj.
Yes. So we have
Anuj.
Anujaputa. Okay, Anujaputa,
Yes,
go ahead.
Anuj.
Sir, the fourth question, sir, it says that 15% should be paid as custom duty.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, sir, the price of the important object was 175,000. So
Mm-hmm.
I multiplied 175,000 by 50. I split the percentage 15%, 15 divided by 100. Then I
Mm-hmm.
multiplied. Then I got the 2 zeros of the 175,000.
Very
Then I
good.
multiplied it by 15. Then I
Mhm.
got the answer 26,750.
26,000. What was that again, Puta? 26,000?
750, sir.
Okay, you made a slight mistake, Puta. The answer should be 26,250, not 750, right? So just check your multiplication again, right? This should be the right answer. Okay, right. Okay, so I have a question. It says, sir, if there is the word of, that means multiplication. Am I right, sir? Yes, Puta, you are right. If they say of, it means multiplication, right? Good, good question. Right. So children, did you get this answer, children, for question number 4? Show me with your hands going up. So Shahir Puta actually sent me the answer right at the beginning. So Shahir Puta, that answer is correct. Very good. What about the others? Did you get this answer? Good, 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 good. Okay. Very good, children. Very good. Okay. So you can put your hands down. Right. Children, we'll go to the last question. So the last question, question number 5. Who would like to explain it? The last question. So we have Anujaputa. We'll see if there is anyone else who would like to explain it. So Anujaputa was explaining a lot of questions today, right? Is there anyone else who would like to explain it? Children, don't be afraid that your answer may not be right. That's okay, right?
Yeah, in that way, Anuja is very good. Huh?
That's what.
Anuja, yeah. Children, don't ever think like that. You all are coming here to learn, right? So even if you make a mistake, that will be a great help for you because it will not, for you will not forget it.
Yes. You won't make the mistake again in a paper. children.
Mistake again. Yes.
Better to make a mistake here with us than during the paper, right?
Right. That's yeah. So we'll give Anuja the
Okay,
chance.
Anuja, yes. Help us with the question, Anuja. How do we do this?
Yes, sir. First they ask the magnitude in man days.
Hmm?
So they says 10 men and 8 days. So I multiplied it and got 80 man days. So
Yes.
the man is using 12 men to the extra 2 days.
Yes.
So
Anuja,
I
give me a
multiplied-
second. Give me a second, Puta. I'll just explain to the kids what this is, right? And then I'll let you go to part B. So children, what we have here is, now Anuja's working is correct, right? So the landowner hires 10 men to clear his land in 8 days. So children, he estimates that it would take 10 men to clear the land in 8 days, right? So that means, children, you have to multiply the number of men by the number of days it will take them, and it will give you the number of man days. Children, remember, the number of man days is the amount of days that one man would need to do this job. So if you only had one man, it would take him 10 days to do the job, right? So that is what the magnitude of the task in man days is. So that is the answer to part A. Yes, Sanuja, how do you do the next part?
So for the next 2 days, the man takes 12 men hiring and I multiplied 12 by 2, then I got 24.
That is
Then
correct.
for
That is correct.
then for
So,
the
okay.
then
Then,
sir, for the total man days, I added 80 and 24. Then I got 104 man days.
okay. All right. So let's discuss that a little bit. Right now, Anujaputa did part of it correctly and he made a mistake in the second half. Right. So let's discuss that. So children, the question is how much of the task will be completed during the first 2 days? So what Anuja did here is correct. Right. So the first thing you have to do is if 12 men are going to be hired for the first 2 days, you have to figure out how many man days would be how many man days of work would be done in the first 2 days. So if 12 men are working for 2 days, that's going to be 24 man days of work, right? 24 man days of work will be done during the first 2 days. But the question is asking how much of the task will be completed during the first 2 days. So remember children, the entire task is how many man days? 80 man days. Out of the 80 man days, 24 man days of work will be done during the first 2 days, right? So that means you would take a fraction 24 over 80 children. So that means out of the total 80 man days, 24 of that will be done in the first 2 days, and this fraction simplifies to 3/10 of the task. So that means 3/10 of the task will be done on the first 2 days of the task with the 12 men, right? That is how you complete the second part, part B, right? Okay. So Anuja, what about part C? Can you help us with that as well?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, the C1 it says landowner wishes to get the task in 6 days. So what I did is according to that, I divided the total answer I got by 6, sir.
Right. Okay. So that I think your answer was 104, was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, so so what happened there was, now since he got an incorrect answer in part B, so he carried that on to part C as well. So children, now let's have a look at how this should be done. All right. So if the landowner wishes to get the task done in 6 days, how many men? How many more men? So children, this should actually be how many men, not more men, right? How many men should he employ for the next 4 days? Now remember, children, he wants the task done in 6 days, right? During the first 2 days, we finish 3/10 of the task, right? That means we have 4 days left for 6 days. That means the other 7/10 of the task has to be done within 4 days. Remember that. The other 7/10 of the task has to be done within 4 days, right? Because total of 2 plus 6 is 2 plus 4 is 6 days, right? So children, what you do is out of the 80 man days, we already completed 24 man days in the first 2 days, right? So you get 6. So one Puta has sent me that answer. That is correct, Puta. So we have 56 man days of work remaining, and this should be done in 4 days, right? So when you do this division, children, it doesn't give you a perfect answer. It gives you 9.3 something, right? We don't need to get the proper answer. We just need to know that it's 9 point something. That means, right, if you hire 9 people, it will take more than 4 days. If you hire 10 people, you can get the task done within the next 4 days, right? So the answer is he will need 10 men for the next 4 days to complete the
Sadhu
task
teacher,
within. Yes.
56 you can divide by 4.
Why didn't
It
I?
comes to 14.
Ah,
14
yes.
days.
So 15 men is the answer. I think I made a mistake in the question. I was looking at the working that I did before. You're right. That is correct. So 14 is the answer, children. Yes, sorry about that. So 14, so he would need 14 men. That means he would need 2 more men, right? So he already had 12 men, children, right? He just needs 2 more, right? That is correct. Thank you, Dilan teacher. So I think I must have made a mistake when I did the calculation. So that is the answer, right? That is the answer. So children, how many of you got this answer? How many of you got this question correct? So Praveen got good. Lot of children have got it correct. Good, very good. Good children. Okay. All right. So children, now those who didn't get it correct, do you understand how to do it properly? Right. So children, this is the end of the paper. If you have any questions, please ask me now, so we can go from here to the next lesson. So before we go to the next lesson, if you have any questions about ratios and percentages, ask and clear it. Right? Any questions, children?
So I have only about the part B and C of the fifth question, which I got wrong.
What was it, Puta? Can you repeat that, please?
So in the fifth question A, however, I got 80 men days and 24 men days. So I got that 104 by adding those two. If
Yeah.
it's wrong, can I know the correct method?
Yes. So Puta, this, can you see the working in red on my screen? Right. So I have some requests to explain question 5 again. So I'll explain part 5 from the beginning, children. Right. So listen. So Anuja, also you can see how to do it. So I'll start with part A. So part A, I think, is easy. Right. So part A, children, they're saying, so the question says a landowner estimates that it would take 10 men 8 days to clear the land. Right. So that means if he hires 10 people, it will take 8 days to completely clear his land. So he hires 12 men for the first 2 days, right? So for the first 2 days, he hires 12 men. What is the magnitude of the task in man days? So children, that means in man days is how many, the number of men that you need and the number of days that you need with those men, you multiply that together. So 10 times 8 gives us 80 man days. Is that clear, children? Right? 10 times
Yes, Sandhu
8.
teacher, can
Yeah.
I add something?
Yes, definitely.
This 80 man days is the thing that they need to make the complete the work to be complete. They have to use 80 man days. I'm telling to Anuja added and got 104. So it cannot be exceeded, like go up above 80. Right, Anuja? Don't make that mistake. We cannot add and get that particular work has to be done within 80 man days. That's the exact amount, right? So it cannot be increased. Okay, continue, Sandhu.
Yes, and also when you said that, Dilan teacher, another thing I remembered is when they say man days, the children might think it's a unit of time. Children, it's
no.
actually an amount of work,
Work.
right? Man days is the amount of work. When they say days, the thing that comes to our mind is, it might be time. No, this is not
No.
about time, children. Right? So there are units like that we use in everyday life, right? Kilowatt hours, right? Those are units of work, children. Right? They are not
This is a
units of,
particular, yes, to
Yes.
check the work only.
yes,
So
that-
whatever the work to be completed, how many?
completed.
So that cannot be changed. That you cannot change. 80 man days is the time that that particular task to be done.
Yes.
So you can increase the men and reduce the number of days, or you can decrease the men and increase the number of days. That can be done. But this particular thing is 80 man days.
Yes, that is correct. So as I said before, children, if it's an 80 man day task, that means it will take one man 80 days, or if you take 80 men, it will take 1 day. That's how
One
you can measure it. Think of it like that. One man will need 80 days to do this job, and 80 men can do this job in 1 day. That's an 80 man day task, right? So that is part A. Now part B, where I have worked out in red, the question is how much of the task will be completed during the first 2 days. So children, they say clearly that he hires 12 men for the initial 2 days. That means with 12 men, children, for 2 days, you can do work of 24 man days of work. Is that clear, children? Right? So if you hire 12 men and if you make these 12 men work for 2 days, 12 times 2 gives us 24 man days of work. So remember, children, the total job is 80 man days, right? In the first 2 days, we complete 24 man days of work, right? So the fraction is 24 divided by 80, which gives us 3/10. Right? So one Puta had asked me to explain part B again. Puta, is part B clear now? Can I know?
And Sandamputa, it's like
Yes.
we can tell them that 24 is already now completed from that 80,
That is
right?
correct. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
now we have to complete the rest of the things, right? So now, but here the B part, they're asking a fraction, like how much work is remaining. Like, no, done, no? Done as a
Yes.
fraction.
Yes.
The basic
Done
way
as
of telling is done as a fraction. So when they ask as a fraction, 80 has to be taken for the comparison. That's why we take it in the denominator, right? And 24 is that completed work. So 24 over 80, you can simplify and get 3 over 10.
3 over 10. Right. So children, I hope that is clear to all of you. Now, when we go to part C, if the landowner wishes to get the task done in 6 days. Now remember children, if he wants to get the task done in 6 days, he only has 4 days left. He already spent 2 days with 12 men, right? He has only 4 days left, right? How many more men should he employ for the next 4 days? Now children, like Dilani teacher said, if we completed 84 man days of work, we have to calculate how much is left. So from 80 you subtract 24, we have 56 man days of work left to be done. Right? That means from the entire land, only 24 man days of work have to be done. He has a lot more left to cover. So that is 56 man days of work is left. And these 56 man days of work, children, he wants it done within 4 days. Why? Because he wants the entire task to be completed in 6 days, children. So from the 6 days, he already spent 2 days with 12 men. So for the next 4 days, he needs to complete the remaining 56 man days of work. So from 56 man days, children, we divide by 4. That means you will need 14 men, right? So 14 men working for 4 days will be 56 man days exactly. So if he uses 14 men for the last 4 days, he can complete this task within 6 days, right? So that means he already the question is how many more men should he employ? So remember, he already employed 12 men. To make it 14 men, he only needs 2 more men to be employed.
Sandam teacher, at the
Yes.
same time, we'll share, can you write 56 man days and then 4 men
Yes.
and then
In the
4
fraction.
days, no?
Yes.
4 days, yes. 4
Yes.
days, and then show them that the days and days getting cancelled,
Yes.
that you're finding men.
I'll do that. Yes.
Children, then you don't make that mistake. Like you don't get confused what you're going to find.
Right. So we have man days and we have 4 days.
4 days.
Right. So children, this one gets cancelled.
Days and days get cancelled, so only man is there. That means 4 men.
Yes.
14 men. Yeah.
We have 14 men remaining. Right. So children, that is the calculation. So we need 14 men for the last 4 days to complete 56 man days of work.